Hey, what is up guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at WordPress pricing. How much does WordPress cost? So today we're going to be breaking down how much WordPress.org costs for you to get started. And if you're going to be using WordPress, you will need web hosting, and the hosting provider that is linked down in the description box if you want to get set up with WordPress, that is Bluehost. I personally use and recommend Bluehost, and they are a great hosting provider for WordPress websites and stores where you can get signed up today. And that is the first link down in the description box, brendanvalesky.com/hosting if you want to get set up with your WordPress website. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at WordPress. So WordPress is a flex your freedom to create a place for your business, your interests, or anything else with the open source platform that powers the web. So to get WordPress, as you can see here, you click here, and then you can download and install it yourself. So WordPress actually is free to download and use. However, you will need a hosting provider to get set up with WordPress, as I mentioned before, such as a company like Bluehost, and they are a WordPress hosting. They're recommended directly from WordPress as one of their official hosting providers, as you can see here with Bluehost for WordPress.org. And that is how you can, host your website, go to your actual website. You will need web hosting. So as far as the cost and pricing, as that breaks down, as you can see here, according to Bluehost, now there is an introductory offer, as I mentioned, the first link down in the description box below, and that will take you right over to Bluehost website here, where you can actually get a free domain. Now, domain costs, typically, this is something you have to consider as far as the ongoing monthly and yearly costs. The yearly cost for a domain typically ranges between $10 and $12 per year. Of course, all of these prices that are mentioned in today's video are subject, as of the time making today's video, they are subject to change, of course, but Bluehost is throwing in a free domain, so that does save you a little bit of money there as far as your WordPress pricing goes. For your WordPress website hosting. Now, some hosting plans will vary depending on how many websites you're going to need or want, as well as the level of hosting plan or package that you may personally need for your own WordPress website. Now, as you can see here, the plans start at $295 a month, and they're regularly $999 a month for a 12-month term. So typically you pay annually to save money as well on your hosting plans for hosting your WordPress website. So you will need hosting, and you'll also need a domain, but they are throwing in the domain. Like I mentioned before, that's generally that $10 to $12 per year mark for your domain. As you can see here, WordPress, Bluehost is one of the top recommended WordPress providers by WordPress.org. So as you can see here, you can set up your domain. And then as far as, grab a plot of land and start building. So creating a website, blog, or online store, Bluehost can help you with that hosting. So as you can see here, this is what, the shared hosting cost is, website builder, online stores. So maybe if you want to build a WooCommerce store on your WordPress hosting plan, it's going to cost you a little bit more if you want the higher package. But, at their base level package, like I mentioned before, starting at, $295 a month, and as that introductory rate, and then it's regularly, $999 a month. And depending on, how many websites, you may need a higher level plan, such as Website Builder. You may need a higher level plan, like a Pro plan, that jumps up to like, $12 a month. It really just depends, but that is generally the range that you could expect to pay. So a couple $100 per year in total you could expect to pay for your web hosting. And then, as I mentioned before, the $10 to $12 per year for your domain. Now, in addition to your domain and hosting, you will also need a WordPress theme. Now, the great thing is with themes, a lot of them are free. There are some pro or paid themes as well, but a lot of free themes are out there as well for WordPress. Personally, some of my favorites that I've used is Astra, as well as GeneratePress. Those are both great free themes that you can use. And a lot of free themes do have pro level versions, so that is something you may want to also factor in. Most people don't really need a pro theme. Most people can get away just fine with a free theme on WordPress. But it really just depends on what your needs are for your website, or how many websites you plan on building out. As well, generally, themes range anywhere from, of course, free at $0 up to $200, and sometimes even they could be like $200 per year. Sometimes they're just a one-off fee at $200. So it just depends on the type of theme that you need, the type of updates you expect from that theme, or what all you need from them as well. But that's generally the price range and the cost that you could expect with a WordPress website. GeneratePress and Astra are both great as far as free themes. A bunch of different free themes. Obviously there's thousands and thousands of free themes out there, and a bunch of different paid themes that you can take a look at as well. So yeah, that's generally like the price range you could expect for maybe if you're paying for a pro theme, up to that range. In addition to themes, there's also WordPress plugins. Now, WordPress plugins extend your WordPress experience. As you can see, there's 60,000 free plugins. It's crazy how many different free plugins there are for WordPress. Some of the great ones, as you can see here, they all do a multitude of different things. You have like Classic Editor, you have Gutenberg. You also have like Yoast SEO or Elementor as a website builder if you want to add that in there. Elementor has a free version, pro version. Pretty much that's generally the business model with most WordPress plugins, and even with themes as well, is they all have a free version that you can download and use, and then if you want to extend its capabilities, you can always upgrade later to the pro version. Now with plugins, with themes are always up to generally up to that $200 range, but plugins could range anywhere, from $0 to $1,000, up all the way up to that for a plugin. It really varies a lot on the plugin front, just because they're so different from one to the next. Like one plugin might be super basic. It might only cost you $20 a year to maintain the license. For the pro version, some are totally free. Some cost you $200 a year. It really just depends on the plugin that you're taking a look at and what all it offers for your WordPress website. So that's another thing to consider as far as overall costs. You've got your domain, like I mentioned, your web hosting, which you can sign up with Bluehost, of course. That first link down in the description box below, brandonvalesky.com/hosting will take you right over to Bluehost, as they are a preferred WordPress hosting provider. Then you also need your theme, as well as your plugin, theme plugin. And yeah, that's really it as far as like cost to WordPress. WordPress is a fairly cost-effective platform, just because really the most expensive cost is going to be your web hosting. Like that's where the majority and the bulk of the costs go. With WordPress websites. Of course, you could always hire like a web designer or maybe a consultant or someone to help you with your website. You could do that, and you could spend a lot, like thousands of dollars, on a web designer or a web developer to build out your website exactly how you want it. There's that option as well, but if you're looking to save money, you don't have to do that. That's not necessary. This is just the bare minimum cost you're going to need for your WordPress website. Now, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't also mention WordPress.com in the mix. Now, it's important to distinguish. WordPress.com is completely separate from WordPress.org, which is the self-hosted platform. That's WordPress. When you mention it, you hear about it, people are really referring to WordPress.org, because that is the majority of the web uses, just WordPress.org. That's what's common and most popularly used. WordPress.com is a modified version. It is owned by a third-party company called Automatic. They do develop and help a lot and contribute to the open source, nonprofit project of WordPress.org. But it is owned by a third-party company called Automatic. That's WordPress.com. So I figured it is important to mention the difference between WordPress.com versus WordPress.org inside this video, just so you understand the plans and pricing as follows. WordPress.com does have a free version, but it is, once again, a modified version of WordPress. It is more like just a basic website builder. And it's easy to make the mistake. When I was a noob and beginner, I went for WordPress.com thinking, oh, this is WordPress. No, it's not really the WordPress that most people are referring to or mentioning out there. So it's a key distinction there. I figured I would include it in this video as well. Of course, they do have different, website plans, and they do have a free version. You pay monthly, annually, but it is a modified version of WordPress. I wouldn't probably recommend it for most people, but you can give it a shot and try it out if you're just looking to test the waters with things. It is something you can try, but yeah, if you're really looking for the quote-unquote real WordPress, you're going to want WordPress.org, and you're going to want to use like a web hosting provider such as Bluehost, as well. And then, you can do whatever you want. Then you can put all the themes, the plugins, and you have more ownership, full flexibility and customizability, with a WordPress.org and, hosting provider for your WordPress website. So That's the key distinction there, and important to know the differences there, and all the different costs that are associated with getting set up with a WordPress website. But guys, once again, just want to mention, first link down in the description box below will take you right over to Bluehost. That's brennanvalesky.com/hosting, where you can get signed up with Bluehost today to start building your WordPress website. It is awesome. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and a notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Guys, that is WordPress pricing and how much WordPress costs to get started with your WordPress website. Guys, that is all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.